going on, guys? Victor here in beautiful Southern California.
Yeah! I interrupted there, sorry.
How about that? We got a lot of energy on the boat. We
yeah.
are with Fin Fetish Charters. We got Captain Brian Norris, and we are headed offshore to go fish the islands. We got Adam, Dylan, Ari, and then of course Berkey's behind the camera, so we'll catch you guys offshore. First stop of the trip, we're gonna try to get on some rockfish. So they say it's really similar to something like a snapper. We got a standard chicken rig, which is basically just 2 hooks in sequence. This entire trip is gonna be all new species for Brook and I. And Dylan says there's like 30 different species of rockfish, right?
We'll probably catch a half dozen different species right now, I would guess.
And you guys wish this guy a happy birthday. It's his birthday today.
Oh, thank you very much.
Happy birthday, Dylan.
Yeah, buddy!
25 years old today.
490
Look at this
feet.
spool, dude.
Yeah, the spool just keeps going. They do things a little bit different in California. Look at the armpits.
Yeah.
Right hand,
We do it
left hand.
We do it the right way, under the left side. Right.
Left coast, right
Gotta
coast.
do under the left side. Oh, it's a Mexican rockfish. Wow. Big Mexican rockfish. This is a Mexican rockfish. We've kind of been seeing them a lot more this year with the increased depth limits. We didn't see them as much in past years because we couldn't fish this deep. And it's a good eater. This is a nice size, probably 2-3 pounds. Perfect fillets.
Is this an average size?
This is like a nice, for a local rockfish, this is like really ideal, you know. Typically with the old laws fishing shallower, we would catch little half-pounders more average than, you know, this nice 2 to 3 pound size.
Vermillion.
A red.
Yeah, so this is they call it a red snapper, also known as a vermilion snapper. So a little bit of a difference.
Yeah. This one's got that more mottled look to it. These are kind of our bread and butter, kind of the most desirable of the common rockfish species, those vermilions.
I love the gill plates here. You can see all the different
Yeah. Very snapper-like, super pretty, real cold.
Yeah.
They're cold. What? It's probably like 50 degrees down there.
500 feet deep down there, dude.
They look like they're gonna be a really tasty fish. All these cold water West Coast fish.
Yeah,
This is a classic bleeding technique. I come up in here, hit the main artery, drop in some water. Wait about 5 minutes.
Put them on ice.
The biggest red I've ever seen is Catalina Island off the west end. Probably the sunset. The ones that are more shallow.
Oh, I still had squid on. Kind of tricky to hook them in 500 feet.
When you do get them, you don't need to like pump it. Just wind straight through it. You're bit.
I think I have one on. East Coast guys, 500 feet, they're not dropping manual, they're dropping electric reels. The West Coast guys might be a little stronger than us. Double! Oh, you got a double!
Nice!
Multi-species.
He hustled you!
Look at that! Woo!
So this is a Mexican rockfish, and this one right here is a vermilion rockfish. It's just brighter in color. This is more desirable and more common, actually. These are found in deeper water generally.
The Mexican?
The Mexican are found in deeper water. We really didn't catch them much until the new laws this year that let us fish deeper.
Look at the Mexican's eyes don't really blow up.
Yeah?
The vermilion's eyes are all blown up.
Oh yeah.
So sick. Even his gill plate's got some little funky stuff on it.
Oh, they could poke you with everything on their whole body.
See, if these look like they'd be super poisonous or venomous, don't they? Just a little hook, some squid, and then you got another one because you want to maximize your opportunity down there. If you're fishing in 500 feet and you miss one fish, you got another hook to get the other fish. Or, like I just got, you can get a double sometimes. Definitely some technique and finesse to it because you got to think you're trying to hook something with over 500 feet of line out, plus you got slack. You're just looking for that faint little bite.
Yeah, this one's a red.
Yeah.
Like a nice little steamer, 1.5 pound red, great size.
The water. Gotta say.
Double!
And Ari's got a bosco.
That beauty.
These are on tap. When our game fish aren't biting, we come and we load up with some great taco meat.
Brian and Ari both have commercial fishing backgrounds, and I tell you guys every single time, the best charter captains are always the guys who have a commercial fishing background. because their livelihood depends on putting fish in the boat. And so far, it's been proven true.
When I looked at that one, I saw it seared, blackened, with a little bit of saffron risotto, a little yuzu kosho drizzle. The other one that Ari just caught, I saw fish tacos. I don't know. Yeah. But when I see it, I don't see the fish, I see it on a plate already. Those ones are what we call green stripes. They're very tasty eating, however, they don't really get very big.
This is almost the biggest that they get, maybe a little bit bigger.
Really?
Green striped rockfish.
They're super tasty. We call
One
those
very
fish
clean fillet right there. 2 clean fillets on this little bad boy.
Oh, this is another great keeper. When I filleted rockfish last, these boscos like have my favorite looking fillets on them.
So this one's a little bit more orange. That's a bosco, right?
This is a bosco,
Okay.
yeah.
More orange,
One eyeball
more
still
yellow.
What do you got? Make a double?
We got a double over here.
Oh, they're biting!
Look at this. A little double, and I found myself a Dylan.
New species.
Nice double.
2 boscos?
Those
Those are both
boscos
boscos.
are bomb. Oh, nice
First
double.
bosco.
They're coming over.
Oh, nice, brother.
So this is a bosco rockfish. You guys see it's a little bit more yellow and orange. All of these are super spiny. Real pretty. Yeah, what's up with that? Is that the gases in his fin too?
These ones are, the nickname of these are called green splotch. And so this one explodes just like this explodes from coming up from the deep. And that's like a natural occurrence in the green splotch and the bosco, what we call them, you know. So those ones, I mean, most of the bigger ones will have a big line like that over next to the dorsal fin that pops out when it comes up from the deep.
Nothing like that feeling you guys know as a fisherman when you're completely out of your element in a different area and just seeing something. Like, even if I don't catch it, just seeing someone catch something new is just so fascinating as a fisherman. It is July and it is 70 degrees with no clouds in the sky. That's like a picture perfect day in Florida. There's no humidity here. If you guys have never been to Southern California, it lives up to the hype as far as the weather. It's gorgeous out here.
Let's see. What do we got? We got a big bosco.
Wow.
Big bosco.
See how it has this green splotch?
Nice
That's what the nickname is, the green splotch.
Beautiful.
Splotch?
Splotch.
Look at him.
Splotch.
You know, this is an old fish. Rockfish it differs by species, but like 20 to 50 years old when they're at full maturity.
Really?
Oh yeah,
That's that old?
That fish is probably over 20 years old. We got a bosco, a vermilion rockfish, and we got a Mexican rockfish right here. This big one. These are less common. These are found in the more deep water typically that just opened up for us. They all look pretty similar, but you can kind of tell the difference. The splotch and the dark back and the more orange. All beautiful.
So we're doing this during the middle of the day because they say that they kind of bite all day long, whereas like the halibut and the white sea bass and the yellowtails, it's more of like a pelagic fish that bites dusk and dawn. You know, you get like a 2-3 hour window, so that's what we're gonna focus on as that time comes on. Right now we're just filling up the cooler with some good eats. This is our very last drop before we send it offshore and go to the islands. The islands is where we're gonna find our sea bass, our yellowtails. This was just on the way out to fish, and if you guys look in here, the fish box is already full within 1 hour of fishing. Cow cod.
Yeah.
No way. It looks like a grouper.
Wow.
Break it down.
Oh, look at that cow cod. These ones are protected. We're not allowed to keep them, so we descend them. We're just gonna skin hook them and send them back down for release.
By skin hooking them, what he's gonna do is, you guys see that fish is blown up because they can't compensate for that gas change or for the pressure change. So Dylan's gonna hook him by the skin, drop him down, and it's barely gonna be hooked in the skin, so that way when he tears it off, he's gonna go back down into the normal pressure in which he lives. If he were to throw that fish overboard right now without dropping it down, it's just gonna float and then die.
He's been getting hammered. Bro, he lets it sit down there, he's patient, and then it just gets destroyed.
Adam, I don't think you've gotten any singles. It's all doubles over here.
It's my secret corner.
And good size ones.
The secret corner over here. They like the spot.
Rod's fine now.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, there we go.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Good job.
Yeah, can't complain about that. That's worth the 500 feet.
I thought I didn't have anything on, and it's because I have these 2 little guys on. This is another species, like Brooke was saying. Little green stripes. Kind of more of a slender figure. Nice little fish taco, fish sandwich. So you guys might be wondering why we're keeping all of these. Well, all these deep water fish, you guys see their eyes are exploded. If you were to release most of these species, they wouldn't make it unless you descended them down properly. That's why even in Florida, you don't really, every fish you catch deep dropping is a keeper. There's no size limit on most species, is because you're fishing for meat. You're fishing, these are all food fish basically. You're not gonna release anything depending on the size. We are back at Dylan and Adam's house. This is one of the rockfish we caught, one of the many species. This is a Mexican rockfish. All looked very similar to each other, super bright and vibrant. And we gotta give a huge shout out once again to Dylan and Adam. They're the ones who set up this whole trip. Dylan and I have been talking on Instagram for like 2 years now, and It's amazing, man. Social media, here we are in California, just getting tight together, you know? And once again, another big shout out to Brian and Ari. Killer guys, and if you guys are interested in a charter, check them out below, Fin Fetish, if you're in the SoCal area. And while we're on the self-promo, if you guys haven't subscribed or liked the video already, do it. It's free, it costs you guys nothing, and then YouTube will let you guys know the next time we upload a video. So let's fillet up this rockfish. Crazy gnarly looking fish. They look very tropical. They kind of look like they should live on a reef, not really out in the middle of nowhere in 500 feet. I think these things look more like they should be in Florida than California, but beautiful. Break through those pin bones. Other side of the backbone. One thing I noticed, we've just been filleting a bunch of rockfish up, and they all have pretty big rib cages. Big pec fins. There we go. There's one side of our rockfish fillet.
Seems like they have really, really small scales.
They do. They do. They're not like a snapper. They definitely have more of a grouper type, I'd say, body and structure. And we actually had some on the boat. Flaky, but big flakes. It's a fish that I really enjoyed eating on the boat. We're actually taking these fish home to Florida, so you guys will see that catch and cook at home. And since we're freezing these fish, I'm gonna remove the bloodline. So normally I wouldn't go and be so aggressive, but like I always tell you guys, if you're gonna eat a fish fresh, you can leave the bloodline in there, but when you freeze it and bring it home and eat it a week later or a couple days later, it's not ideal. It's gonna get real brown and gamey, so. Good looking fillets. And if you guys are interested in the knife that I used today, this is a Dexter 8-inch flexible fillet. Save 20% off, use code LANDSHARK. I'll catch you guys at home. We are back in Florida. We gotta show the California boys, we know how to do some stuff in the kitchen. We gotta do justice to these California fish in Florida. So on this tray, we have mainly sheep's head, and on this tray we have rockfish. I think it'd be neat to kind of mix it up a little bit. They both look pretty flaky. We're gonna bake them, and we're gonna go very Italian with this dish. So I'm gonna hit it on one side with some salt. You guys see the rockfish is a lot smaller. Well, we have smaller fillets for the rockfish. The sheep's head we caught were much bigger than the rockfish. Hit it with some pepper. Only on one side. These are pretty thin fillets, so they really don't need that much seasoning. One side will suffice. Since we're gonna go pretty Italian with this, I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of oregano as well. Dried oregano. Some garlic powder, of course. Okay, the neat thing about this is we're gonna bake it. We're gonna do a really flavorful, vibrant panko crust on there. So I grated 3 lemons. So there's the zest of 3 lemons in there, some panko breadcrumbs, and it's kind of a binding agent and also to just flavor our panko. If you just toast panko without any kind of fat, I find it to be kind of bland. I think some type of fat like butter. I just have some melted butter right here. It just brings it to life, you know? And fish already is so lean, so you can afford it. Live a little. So there is our panko. We're gonna go in with some butter. Before I seasoned our fish with the dry stuff, I did go ahead and I brushed olive oil on both sides of our fish. Very small amount, not even a tablespoon each. Just gonna help it to prevent from sticking. And then of course, some people are funny about putting cheese on fish. What if you put cheese in your pancos and then put it on top of your fish? We'll do some panko with Parmesan. This is going right on top of the sheep's head. Just gonna give it some texture as well as a little bit of flavor. You know, we're not making a mountain of it, we're just coating the very exterior right here. It is going to be oh so delicious. At 425, the sheep's head's a little bit thicker, so it might take a little longer than the rockfish. A little bit earlier, I sauteed 2 yellow onions and some garlic, about a whole head of garlic. That's what is at the bottom of this. If you guys have never tried roasted red peppers, they're really easy to make at home, but we were on a time crunch tonight. You can get jarred roasted red peppers. They completely change the profile of the pepper. It gets super sweet and just delicious. You see the little bit of charring in there. Leave it all in. That's flavor right there. So I'm gonna start with 1 jar first, hit it with some salt, and what we're gonna do tonight is make like a roasted red pepper, a creamy roasted red pepper linguine with some baby broccolini. This is gonna be the base for our sauce, for our pasta. So you got the roasted red pepper, onion, garlic, just hit it with some salt. We're gonna do some black pepper, and then the creamy part will come in with some half and half later once we heat this up. Right here for our acidity, I'm gonna do a little bit of lemon juice. That's good. I've made a couple of roasted like red pepper sauces, some romescos. I don't know if it was this jar, this is Whole Foods brand, but this is probably the best roasted red pepper sauce I've ever made. I think those onions, those sauteed onions and garlic really took it over the top. So, okay, so the roasted red pepper that we had in the NutriBullet earlier, I added some half and half to it, some fresh parsley. Oh yeah, look at that. Here is our broccolini, just tossed in some lemon juice, as well as some black pepper. And then look at this. There's our panko crusted rockfish right on top. Oh yeah, baby.
Okay, so first time ever having California sheep's head. Very, very delicious. And we always tell you guys that we like never eat frozen fish. So this fish has been frozen, but properly vacuum sealed first. But it came all the way from California to Florida. It's been in the freezer for just a couple weeks. Victor defrosted it today. Absolutely delicious. The rockfish, I would say, is just as good as the sheep's head. The flakes are just a little different between the two, so you can definitely tell if you have a sheep's head piece or a rockfish, but both are so good. I couldn't even tell you which one I liked better. Everything that Victor did, that recipe was amazing. If you guys are looking for a new easy recipe, very easy and very delicious, so good job, Vic.
I had 2 servings of everything. The pasta, the broccoli, and the fish. Like Brooke said, first time ever having California sheep's head and rockfish, and I enjoyed both of them a lot. They were both just excellent, so it was good.
I agree with everyone. I'm enjoying this California fish. I love the crunchy coating of the panko. There's some really good seasonings in this pasta. Great flavor on the broccolini. All over, very good meal. This is my second serving, so love it. Thank you.
A spectacular Chef Victor meal. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Everything was killer. So much flavor. All white meat fish, super flaky. The panko crust just takes it to the next level. Another spectacular meal, Dick. Thank you.
Thank you. You guys know that we very rarely freeze fish, like Brooke was saying. For us, we like to eat fresh fish, but today proves that frozen fish is great. You guys take the proper care of it, cut the bloodlines out, vacuum seal it. Gabby, what did you think? You always eat fresh fish at this table. What did you think? Did you tell a difference?
No difference at all. It was really good. I enjoyed it. I like the flakes on the fish. It gave it an extra crunch, and it was really nice.
Yeah, I can't stop going up there and getting more fish. It's just as good as the fish we've caught and ate the next day, which is surprising because we always say, oh, it's so good because it's so fresh. But how long ago did you guys say you froze this?
Just 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
And that's considerable compared to like how we usually eat it next day. And I couldn't complain at all. Everything's really good, and it's fun to eat something from the California every once in a while because we never get to. So
wanted to say 2 things. Number 1, a huge thank you to Brian and Ari over from Fin Fetish Charters. Not only are they great captains, super knowledgeable, but they make your trip fun. They talk, they laugh, they make jokes, and you never once feel pressured or talked down to. They're just really nice people. So if you guys are in the SoCal area, I mean, you guys saw it. We have tons of family dinners from this trip. Brookie caught our biggest yellowtail. We caught a ton of different species. Just an all-around great time. And second thing, I'm very curious to know how many of you guys at home are from the California coast. Comment below if you guys are watching this video from that side of the world, because I just want to know. I know we have a huge Florida audience, but I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.